Hey everybody, it's Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, and welcome back to my home. Welcome to my yard and my mosquitoes and the beautiful weather. I made it back from Dallas, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Safe and sound, and now back in my little comfort zone again. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Rita Hickman. I have a shiatsu massage therapist practice out of Northern Illinois, and I've been doing it for probably about 10 years. But I've spent the last probably about 25 years really understanding how, hey, Kara, nice to see you, understanding how the body mind works. I came from a challenging background, and with that background, hey, Kathy's here too. With that background, I had to learn a lot of great body mind skills because as an empath with a sensitive nervous system, you really have to start to figure out how to survive. So as I've gone through my life, I've shared, the lessons that I've learned because I've been very blessed to be able to focus on how do we heal. I have a real passion for how we heal, especially how we heal on the body-mind path. Because you know what? I've looked out there, and there is not great information about how we actually heal. There's psychotherapy, there's massage therapy, there's energy healing, but they all have these metaphors. They all have these ideas that use pictures or stories to try to help us heal. And those stories just never resonated with me because it meant that I had to believe in something that wasn't me. I had to believe in something that just didn't. They weren't stories that made sense to me, and it's why I never got into a lot of energy healing, because the stories, whatever they may be, just didn't resonate with my core. So I went the route of, what does science say? Why, thank you, Kimberly. I'm so glad you're here today. So I went the route of science, and Hannah Lisa's here too. Science says that a lot of the metaphors and stories, or a lot of the healing techniques that have been around for thousands of years, are actually true. Not necessarily the stories behind them, but the tools and the techniques, the rituals, the habits, the ceremonies. And if you look closer at almost any religion, at almost any spiritual practice, they've got, I've got my fan club on today. Thank you, Kathy and Kimberly. That's awesome. The science is backing up things like Asian medicine. They're backing up the nervous system and getting rid of judgmentalism and the body mind and the wisdom of the body. And that's what I'm here to share with people, to get us past the stories that keep us trapped, that give us that dogma that we fight over. Get past those stories and let's get to what's really going on and how you can heal yourself, how you can move forward without having to attach yourself to anything specific, without having to believe in anything. You can be an atheist, you can be a Buddhist, you can be Catholic, you can be, Protestant, you can be whoever you need to be, because the body mind works the same for everybody. And when you start to learn how this works, then you're not trapped anymore. So, okay, lately we've been talking about, hey, Stephanie's here too. We've been talking about how rituals and things that we do every day will help our body heal. Our body has been designed to heal from the moment of conception, from the moment that the egg and the sperm met. Our bodies are miracles that heal themselves. And the problem is nobody really knows how it works. Nobody knows how we can heal ourselves. Well, that's what I'm here to show you. So I'll give you this morning as an example. Every morning I like to spend a little bit of time. Hey, Victoria. I like to spend a little bit of time and do self-healing work on myself. And we're putting a ritual into place for 30 days that will help you start to heal your body, will help entrain your brain with your heart so everything's moving in the right direction, so that they're talking to each other, they're on the same page, and instead of everybody fighting and being on opposite ends, we're actually all moving towards a common goal. Your brain and your heart and all of your organs and your cells and your DNA. We're all moving towards a common goal that we agree upon. So one of the things, though, that gets in the way, I'm swatting my mosquitoes. Oh, good. Thanks. Thanks, Kathy. And Jazz is here, too. So one of the things that gets in the way of our self-healing are these patterns of fight or flight, these patterns of anger and fear that we go into. You know, when we're in a good place, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, when we're in a good place, we feel like we can conquer the world, like anything's possible. But then something happens. Maybe the time of day, maybe our blood sugar gets low, maybe somebody looks at us funny, maybe we get a little dehydrated, maybe our hip starts to ache or a knee starts to ache. And our ability to heal ourselves kind of takes a complete nosedive. You know, we're on this great path of, love and light, and surround myself with, with golden bubbles, and it's wonderful. Those things really work great. But there's something that will always get in the way. Have you ever tried to do self-healing and all you can do is think about how angry you are, or how scared you are, or how paralyzed you feel? That is the thing that will always get in the way of your self-healing. Because when that's triggered, when that pattern of feeling is triggered, then our whole body snaps into that paradigm, into that structure, let's say. You know, have you noticed that when you get angry or when you get scared, you walk a certain way? I walk more stiffly. I walk almost as if I'm marching. Because when I'm scared or angry, my whole body kind of paralyzes itself up and I can hardly move. I end up feeling like I'm 102 years old. And no matter what I think, no matter what mantra I say, no matter what it is, those thought processes, or no matter what healing energy anybody sends towards me, hey Christine, no matter what anybody sends towards me, or no matter what I think, I still end up in that frozen place. So here's the trick. Here's the trick that gets you around that fear and that anger, which is totally natural and normal. Here's the trick that gets you around that. Change your felt sense. So when I'm going through a difficult time, let's say I'm legitimately scared or angry about something. Let's say I got triggered from something from my past. Somebody did something or said something that reminded me of all the times that I've been hurt or all the times that I've been hurting. You know, that's legitimate. That's not you making it up. You actually feel that way. Even though nobody can see it and you're smiling and powering through it, you still feel frozen, paralyzed, or ready to punch something, or you can't move, or all you can do is stare at the wall, okay? And when we do this, when we let ourselves get locked in this holding pattern, healing won't work, mantras won't work, none of that stuff works. What you need to do is change your felt sense. You need to change how you actually feel. You need to change your inner environment. So sometimes if I'm not in a place to do self-healing because I'm scared, I'm angry, I'm feeling judgmental, something happened to me, my body's off, the trick that I use is I change how I feel. And I do it by a couple different things. If I'm hot, I do something that makes me cold. If I'm dressed, I take my clothes off. If I'll drink a glass of water, I will take a bath or a shower. I will put ice in my mouth. I will get out my lemon eucalyptus. I will do something that will change my felt sense. Because remember, this fear and this anger is something that you're feeling. It's your nervous system blocking down. And when your nervous system locks down, your circulation is cut off. Your nervous system signals are cut off. Everything is in a super survival efficient sort of mode. And so it can't heal itself because that would be energy that you need to survive. What we need to do is get ourselves into a different felt sense so that we can do our healing work. So let's say somebody comes into your office and they yell at you and you have an immediate reaction to that. What I would do is I would find something that gives me a different felt sense, that makes me physically feel different. So I would, I even used to do this because I'm really big with sound. I would even change my acoustics. So if I was outside and I could hear my voice a certain way, I would go into the bathroom where the acoustics are better. So if you're too scared, if your nervous system is locked down because you're too scared or too paralyzed in order to heal yourself, the first thing, the number one thing you need to do is give yourself something that feels different. So instead of sitting with it, instead of getting trapped in that holding pattern of staring at the wall or freaking out or eating or shopping or doing some sort of big, distraction that way with your head, I want you to do a physical distraction. I want you to break the pain cycle, break that fear and anger cycle. And the way you do it is by giving yourself a different experience. Because your conscious mind can only be aware of a certain amount, a finite number of sensations at once. And pleasure actually travels to the brain faster than pain. So if you're sitting in pain, if you're sitting in fear, anger, and you're trying to do your healing work and you can't break through, you can't relax enough to do it, every time you try to do a golden light or every time you try to think something positive, your brain goes off into the negative. This is never going to work. All that negative talk. Instead of beating yourself up more for having negative talk, get yourself up, get yourself into a different temperature, get a different taste in your mouth, drink some water so your body has a different internal sensation. Do something where an ice cube or a heating pad, something that's on a different part of your body, because that sensation will travel to your brain faster than that fear and that pain, and it'll break the cycle. So you don't have to try to play mind games with yourself, because that doesn't work very well. If you're in a cycle of fear or anger and trying to do some healing work, trying to do some self-healing work, then get out of your environment, your internal or external environment, and that will break the pain pattern, almost guaranteed. That's why people say, I just get up and I get moving. You don't have to just get up and get moving and force yourself to do something. You can do something easier, gentler. I'll change out my sheets. I'll change how my sheets feel. I'll change the weight that's on top of me. If I've got 2 comforters, I'll take 1 comforter off so that there's less weight on me. So you need to do something physically different, and that will help you break through. And when you do that, when you break through that, you'll be able to do the healing experience that we're just about to do. I said we're going to start doing a 30-day, I want to get a 30-day habit into your life. And the habit is of entraining your brain with your heart. Because when they're moving in the same direction, when they're trained in the same spot, then your body really does start to heal itself. You're able to think better, your head clears, you're able to learn better, your immune system kicks in and starts protecting yourself and coming in that it's going to heal. Okay? So today is day 3 of us doing our 3 minutes of self-healing. So, okay? You ready? We're going to do it together. 3 minutes, that's all you need, and we're going to start doing our self-healing thing. Hi, Mary Jane. Good to see you. So, first thing, I need you to slow down your breathing. Remember, slowing down your breathing puts you into a relax, tells your body that you're safe. So even if you slow it down a little bit, there's no trick to this. Just slow it down a little bit. And if you do that, your body will start to feel safe, okay? So we're going to slow down our breathing together. I'm going to slow down my voice together. And we're going to do this 3-minute self-healing together too, okay? So is your breathing slowing? Yeah, that's something you can control, isn't it? How fast you're breathing. All right. The next thing we're going to do, remember step 2, is you take your fingers, you take your attention, and you put them on your heart close to your breastbone. Because your heart has its own brain. It has its own brain cells in it. And those brain cells, which some cultures call the soul, is right next to your breastbone and on your heart. So I want you to feel for it. Feel for a tender spot. Hey, Leslie, good to see you. Feel for a tender spot, that's next to your breastbone on top of your heart. Your breathing is slowed. By putting your fingers there, it tells your body, this is where I want you to pay attention to. And by bringing your attention to your heart, that starts to activate your self-healing. When you get out of your head and into your heart, your body says it's time to heal itself. So your breathing is slower, your fingers are on your heart, and now I want you to think of something that's happy, pleasurable, compassion, kindness, love. I'll give you some examples. Maybe you think of somebody or something that you love, whether it's your pet or your spouse, or your kid, or your parent, anything. One of my favorite philosophers would say, Alan Watts, he'd say, all you need to do is love something, anything. It could be chocolate, it could be ice cream, but it's that sense of love. It's that sense of compassion and kindness and pleasure. Pleasure is what heals us. So your breathing is slow. Your hands are on your heart to bring your attention there. And when you go into that space, maybe it's feeling someone touching your face. Maybe it's feeling yourself surrounded by this beautiful warm glow. Maybe it's remembering a time that you laid out in the sun and you could feel that warmth just penetrate your body. Maybe it's a vista or a view that you looked at, someplace that you went. Could be the Grand Canyon, could be the ocean, could be Lake Michigan, could be a giant redwood, someplace beautiful. You can think of someplace beautiful and that will heal. Think of something that you can smell that smells wonderful. Maybe chocolate or lavender or cinnamon, or a memory, maybe how someone who loved you used to smell. You can think of that. If you don't have anything, you can touch your own hair. You can touch your own skin and feel how wonderful that feels. Soft and interesting. Maybe your hair. Feel how its texture is. Anything that brings you pleasure. Okay? We're doing this for 3 minutes, and we're just about done with our 3 minutes, okay? Your breathing is slow. Your hand is on your heart, and you're thinking of something wonderful. Love, kindness, pleasure, a memory that you have, or something that you're going to be doing in the future. And maybe you'll notice your fingers have started to kind of sink in. Maybe you'll notice that it's starting to get a little warm around your heart, that any tenderness that you had is starting to go away. Maybe that's what you're noticing, and that's what you can do. We're doing that little healing moment today. We're getting our brain and we're getting our heart moving in the same direction, moving towards healing ourselves and feeling great and starting our day in a good spot. Okay? So still notice that your breathing is slow. Still be in that space of kindness and love. And still have your fingers on your heart. And that's it. You've done it. You've done your 3 minutes of self-healing today. And tomorrow, I hope you do the same thing. We're going to keep doing this for 30 days until we all get into a great spot. So one of the things I'd like you to notice right now is where you are right now, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. I want you to notice where you are right now, because in 30 days, we're going to see if we're in a different spot, okay? So take a moment, pay attention, create a benchmark. Where am I right now and how I feel? Cool. And in 30 days, we're going to do the benchmark again. We're going to keep checking, because this is how your body heals itself, by getting into a relaxed, open state, feeling safe, and telling your body, I'm ready to heal. Okay? So, like, love, share, comment on other people's comments. Okay? And we're going to get this habit into place. I hope you have a great rest of the day. It's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. And I'm going to see you Monday. Okay? Bye.